This is Lisnabreeny Cemetery in the hills above Belfast. And this is the former site of the American War Cemetery from 1943 until 1948, as it says on the plaque. All there used to be here was the two posts at the entrance gate, and then this memorial was erected here recently. This site was once the resting place of 148 American servicemen who died in Northern Ireland during World War II. First deployed to Northern Ireland in January 1942, the number of US personnel stationed in the region reached a peak of 120,000 in June 1944, and around 300,000 US personnel were stationed or passed through by the time the war ended in 1945. The cemetery itself here opened in December 1943. The cemetery grounds here were carefully maintained and the graves were laid out in neat rows of 25. There was a whitewashed driveway with cherry trees and it led from the red brick entrance, the gateposts of which still exist, to the grave plots. There was a flagstaff at the end of the drive and the American flag was raised every morning to a bugle fanfare. And then folks who had died, mainly as a result of accidents before that, they were buried elsewhere before this opened, and their remains were then reinterred here, transferred to Lisnabreeny. The dead who were buried here, amongst 148, included members of the US Army and Navy, but most were members of the Air Forces and died from natural causes, road traffic accidents or during training, and about 40 men died in air accidents. The cemetery itself closed in 1948 and the remains of those who were not repatriated to the US at their family's request now lie in Cambridge Cemetery and Memorial in England. So amongst the 40 people who died here as a result of air crashes were folks who were on an American bomber which crashed into the Cave Hill, which you can see in the distance from here from Lisnabreeny. Amongst the people killed in there, they would be buried in that accident, were buried in here originally. And the story of the bomber crashing on Cave Hill was made into a Hollywood film. I believe it was Richard Attenborough's last ever film, and that he directed. It was a film called Closing the Ring. So Closing the Ring then, I'd say that the guys were buried initially in here before they were repatriated along with their other colleagues in either back home or in the American War Cemetery in Cambridge in England. Normally in the flagpole here there's the Stars and Stripes fly on occasion, but you can see there it's not flying today. So in the distance then you can see Belfast and sadly Cave Hill, where, as I say, the members of the US Air Force were killed during the crash, then it was made into Closing the Ring. So again here in the hills above East Belfast, quite close to where Lagan College is, Belfast's Northern Ireland's first integrated school. And this just a farmer's field now. Then we have this fine memorial to commemorate the American War Cemetery that was here from 1943 until its closure in 1948.